I'm going to try to make a quick video with my phone going from a 15th tooth sprocket to a 13th tooth sprocket. First we're going to loosen the axle. Now let's open the stand. I always like to tie it to the stand just to make sure it doesn't fall over on me. We're going to now take off the countershaft sprocket cover. Alright, this is my B&B off-road sprocket cover and case saver. It uses a 5mm hex wrench to take off 3 bolts. Alright, here's my B&B off-road case saver and sprocket cover off. It uses 3 identical sized bolts, so there's no reason to keep them in a specific order. Here's my 15th tooth stock front sprocket actually. That is the ProCycle sprocket adapter. You can run a 13 through 16 with this adapter. Find your missing 10mm socket and take out the 3 bolts. Here's my 15th tooth sprocket compared to the 13th tooth sprocket. I'd have some trail riding to be done this weekend. The 13 is going to come in handy. I am still running the stock 43 rear. That's going to change at some point. I have everything I need. Just didn't get around to getting to it yet. Sprocket came out without moving the axle because I had a proper amount of slack in my chain that shouldn't be able to pop out. The 13 will definitely go in here much easier, and then I will adjust my slack. So now with the 13th on, without the retainer yet, you can see the slack difference between a 15 and a 13. The retainer, let's see if I can do this. I can't see very well here. Let's see. There we go. Now we're going to turn it. There's a slot in the shaft, so you can turn it. I'm going to find that right spot so you can line it up with the sprocket holes. Now, I can't find it. There we go, right there. Now we bolt it up. Okay, the sprocket is bolted up, the case saver is bolted up. Now let's move on to the chain slack. I like to use just a 27mm socket as just a general guide, and then I'll adjust from there. I normally go with a tight 3 fingers, and it seems to be fine. Alright, I got my chain adjusted. This is right about where I want it to be. I don't want to be cramming them in here. I want it about this. I don't want my suspension to fully travel. I don't want it to be restricted. I got my snails. I read about 4.9, that's how I read them. Just makes it easier for me. On both sides. I'm gonna move the chain, take it for a ride, and check it again. I forgot to mention, I'm not used to doing videos like this. I normally just take a rag, throw it in the chain, and roll it back. Then that's how I tighten my axle. Or snug the axle up. I'll tighten it once I drop the bike. Alright, chain is all adjusted. Looks good to me. It's also lubed. I used my what's left of my Motul off-road chain lube. Comes out this green. It's almost like oil based, but it works really good in keeping your chain from binding up when you're in slop and the whole thing is covered in coal mine dust and muck. It is an O-ring chain. In reality, you don't have to lube it much or very often, but I just throw a little bit. Sometimes just a little bit of WD, some white lithium spray grease. Just something on there. There you have it. Time to ride.